And of course, Dr. Madu, the information that you've given so far is just, in a real sense, mind-boggling. You know, to even suggest that the government itself is a drug cartel in Africa. I mean, it seems to be so far beyond almost belief. But go on, continue our discussion in reference to this.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you know, here you have two countries, you know, that could have been heaven anywhere else on any other continent. For example, Guinea. Guinea has the largest, you know, bauxite deposits in the entire planet. And you know, bauxite is the ore for aluminium. Exactly. And yet, almost 60% of the people are jobless. Okay? Almost 60% of them are jobless. Okay? Running water is a luxury. Electricity is a luxury in a country that has so much water. What is the government doing? If the government is busy, the government officials are busy, you know, trying to run drugs and protect their own interests, they are not busy running the government to take care of the little person. They could care less. And that's part of the problem. Oh yeah, people say, well, you know, Africa is poor. Africans are poor. No, really, Africa is not poor. Okay? Africa is not poor. It's just that the place is completely mismanaged because of what we just discussed now. Okay? That bauxite deposit in Guinea is enough to make the place a heaven for everybody. It's enough to make the place very rich. But yet...
And they got the labor to exploit it.
They have the labor to exploit it. And the government has not seen it fit to exploit it to its fullest for the benefit of its own people. And even when they come to exploit it, it would still not be for the benefit of the people. The same with Bissau. Even though Bissau's main cash crop happens to be cashew nuts, but there's enough agricultural land and water for everybody to be, you know, to be happy. Okay? It's enough. They have enough seas to fish. They have enough land for agricultural production and all that. But yet, electricity, water is a luxury. Now, how can the government do anything for the people when they are busy trying to control and sell these drugs and run the country at the same time? Both of them cannot work that way. It does not work that way. And that's part of the problem. Okay? So these drug barons have seen these institutional weaknesses and say, hey, let's go over there. You know, since the DEA is on our backs in Jamaica and then, you know, other places in Trinidad and in Latin America, hey, you know, and the Europeans want these drugs now. Come on, let's go over there. Since the government is acquiescing to this, it's better for us to shift. That's the reason why they said, okay, now let's go over to west coast of Africa. So when we ship the drugs over there, we are quiescent government officials. We don't have to worry about somebody searching those things at the airport, at the seaport. We just landed, pay the government their own money, the officials, put it in government diplomatic pouches. And you know, because it's a diplomatic pouch, it cannot be searched at the airport because of diplomatic immunity. Okay? Take it to Europe. And that's exactly the reason. If the governments weren't cooperative with them, it would not have been that way. That was exactly why the United Nations designated Guinea-Bissau as the first narcotic state, because the institutions of government were involved in it themselves, clearly involved in it themselves. When General Vieira was assassinated, not one head of state attended his funeral, not one from Africa.
Yeah, everybody knows in Africa exactly
because they knew exactly they knew exactly what the deal was, that this assassination was not just a regular, you know, political quarrel.
Two enemies.
Exactly. It's not just because between two enemies.
Control of a cartel.
That's correct. It's for a control of a cartel in the real sense. Okay? When his prime minister said, you know, the president himself, you know, is a drug dealer, then he knows better. Who knows about the government more than the prime minister himself? Okay? Yeah. You see? And that's been the problem. That was why the United Nations made that designation, the first narco state in the world. Okay? Because that's what's happening. Fishermen in Bissau, when they are fishing, they're always finding stacks and stacks of bales of cocaine in the river. And they don't know what it is. So a lot of them take it home and